Hi, my name is Olivia. I've landed just in time to catch another segment of Daily AI Prompts for Job Seekers with William Craig III. Today, Mr. Craig will be demonstrating another powerful prompt to help us use AI effectively in our job search. I can't wait to see what he's going to share with us. And the best part is, I can watch the replay on his LinkedIn profile or his YouTube channel at Get Up and Get a Job. Okay, fasten your seatbelts. Mr. Craig is about to take off.
Well, welcome back to those of you who've been following the series, either in person or by watching the replays, and a warm welcome if it's your first time joining. This is Daily AI Prompts for Job Seekers, and I'm William Craig III, a professional career coach. And I've got a clear mission for this series to help you move beyond overwhelm and into action. The fact is, people who put out resources with hundreds of AI prompts are well-meaning, but too many prompts can actually be paralyzing. So instead, I've focused on giving you just one powerful, practical prompt each and every day. And my goal, to help you run your job search or job campaign with clarity, confidence, and strategy using AI as your assistant, not your replacement. Today, as always, we're going to be building on that momentum. And if you've missed any of the segments, feel free to watch the replays on my LinkedIn profile, or you can tune in on my YouTube channel live at Get Up and Get a Job. All righty, so let's see here. Let's get this party started. And today's prompt, as you can see, we're sticking with the theme of how to handle rejection during your job campaign, okay? We got off to a good start with Mary Mack, our fictitious job candidate yesterday. And today we're going to move forward. And our prompt is draft a gracious thank you plus stay connected note Mary can send after an unsuccessful interview, leaving the door open. So often, again, we talked about this yesterday, folks take it personally when they get turned down for a job. And, you know, I can be philosophical and say, in some cases, you just dodged a bullet. In other cases, at the end of the day, that wasn't for you. Or here we go. Or maybe you just weren't as prepared as you thought you were. Okay. But nonetheless, what we want to do is we want to exit with grace. And so let's see what ChatGPT comes up with us for today. All righty, that was quick. Here's a warm, professional, and gracious note Mary can send after an unsuccessful interview. It thanks the employer, leaves a positive impression, and keeps the door open for future opportunities. And that's definitely what we want to do, is keep the door open for future opportunities, because you just never know. So here we go. We're going to send an email that says, thank you for the opportunity. Dear interviewer's name, thank you again for the opportunity to interview for the accounts payable, accounts receivable specialist role at XYZ company. While I'm, of course, a little disappointed by the outcome, I'm truly grateful for the time you took to learn about my background and to share more about the team and company culture. I greatly admire the work XYZ is doing and would love to stay connected should another opportunity arise where my skills in AR, AP reconciliations, and process improvements could be a fit. Wishing you and your team continued success, and I hope our paths cross again. I will add in the near future. Warm regards. So would you like me to also draft a shorter LinkedIn message version of this note so Mary can send a quick connection request if she isn't already connected with the interviewer? So let me just say this, something that I found out last week, that LinkedIn has changed its rules. And so there are a limited number of opportunities to include a note with connection requests now if you have a free account. So while we can go with this, and I'm going to go ahead and say yes, as Chat always has me saying yes. Excuse me. Okay, here's a short, friendly LinkedIn message version Mary can use to stay connected after an unsuccessful interview. Hi, interviewer's name. Thank you again for the opportunity to interview for the ARAP specialist role XYZ. I truly enjoy learning more about the team and the company's mission. I'd love to stay connected here on LinkedIn and keep in touch about future opportunities. Wishing you and your team continued success, Mary. Now, here's how I might augment this. Certainly, we can use this for our LinkedIn profile for sure. Bottom line is, if we get to a place where we have reached the limit, which probably won't happen if they're limiting, well, it depends. And I'll be honest with you, I've got to check up on this, whether it's limited by week or by month. So bottom line is, here we have a note that we can include, we can send. Hopefully we've already made a connection, but if we haven't, we can include this. But here's what you can also do. In addition to sending the email, you can actually get a thank you card. And literally you can get a box of like 18 or 25 of these for really on the cheap, $6-7. And with a blank inside. And this is the note that you would write inside the thank you card and put it in snail mail and send it along. Well, William, why in the world would I do that? That seems like a lot to go through. Can I tell you that hiring managers, recruiters have told us that they actually cherish getting snail mail, especially thank you notes, thank you cards from candidates, whether they were successful or not. They also not just are elated to get them, but they keep them on their desks, okay, or somewhere where they can see them regularly. You want to be top of mind when that next opportunity comes available. All righty. So, and what it will do is it can lend itself to someone actually giving you a heads up about how to apply for that next opportunity. So again, these are little tips and tools and strategies that I've learned over the years of working with people. 10 years next month in October that I've been a career coach. I've been a trainer for more than 25 years, but a career coach for the past 10 years, successfully helping our clients to generate well over $100 million in income. So at the end of the day, yes, we can send the email, but also taking something like this, and even though LinkedIn may have changed its rules, and we can still go down to the corner store, get those, get a box of thank you cards that are blank inside. And if you don't have good penmanship, get somebody that does have good penmanship to write it for you, and you pop this in the mail. And yes, I know stamps have gone up ridiculously. It's amazing, but nonetheless, it's worth the investment. Let's see what else chat says. Would you like me to also create a 3-message follow-up sequence? Connection request, thank you, light value add that Mary could use to nurture this relationship over time. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up because that's a great suggestion. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to change this just a little bit. Oh, let me use the mic. Why am I trying to type? It seems that LinkedIn has changed its rules with regards to the number of connection request messages that individuals can send if they have a free account. Many of my clients have a free account like Mary. So let's do the 3-message follow-up sequence, but instead of using LinkedIn, let's pretend that we're actually sending this via email. All righty. And it's transcribing, and there we are. Seems that LinkedIn has changed its rules, yada, yada. Many of my clients like Mary. I'm just going to put a comma there. So let's do the 3-message follow-up. All right. Good job. Good job. Good job. Talking to myself now. Okay. All righty. Perfect. Shifting from LinkedIn to email makes a lot of sense. Well, thank you, ChatGPT, especially with free account restrictions. Here's a 3-message follow-up email sequence Mary can use after an unsuccessful interview to stay connected, show value, and keep the door open. So again, sticking with our theme of how do we respond? How do we react once we have been rejected? So number 1 email, immediate thank you, day of, not day after, day of rejection. Thank you for the opportunity, dear interviewer's name. Thank you again for the chance to interview for the accounts payable, accounts receivable specialist role. While I'm naturally a bit disappointed by the outcome, I truly appreciate the time you and your team maybe took to meet with me and share more about XYZ. And then you might add something memorable about the interview here. That never hurts. I admire the work your team is doing and hope we can stay in touch for future opportunity. Warm regards. All right, 2 to 3 weeks later, great connecting recently. Dear interviewer's name, I wanted to quickly reach out and say how much I appreciated our earlier conversation. Even though the timing wasn't quite right for that particular role, I remain very interested in the impactful work XYZ is doing in the finance space. If there are any upcoming roles where my AR/AP background could add value, I'd love to be considered. In the meantime, I'll be cheering on your team's continued success. Love it, love it, love it. And this ties into how I coach around having a list of companies that you're interested in working for. Okay, this idea of just going to job boards and looking on job boards for jobs and clicking apply and clicking apply, that is passe. Okay, I don't mean to be highbrow about it, but that's out. That's we're over that. Okay, all right. So we need to have our own strategy of here are the companies that I would really like to work for, and this ties into that because once again we are keeping up and letting them know, hey, yeah, there was that opportunity, but it wasn't the right time for us. But perhaps the future holds something different. Let's keep in touch. Now, there is something else, and I'll see if ChatGPT addresses it now. Light value add 6 to 8 weeks later. Thought of you when I saw this. Yes, yes, yes. ChatGPT is reading my mind. Dear interviewer's name, I came across this industry article, tool, resource, etc. Oh my gosh. This is okay. Let me calm down. This is part of what we have to do to stay relevant. All right. And not seem like we're begging or we're desperate for a position. I get so many people who are like, I just need a job. I really need a job. Okay, well, there's a process. And I don't know how long you've been in the game before you came to me, but you didn't know what you didn't know. And so you've been doing all the right things, but perhaps not the right way. Perhaps there are a few tweaks that we can make. All right. Anyway, came across this, whatever it was, a report on AR automation trends in 2025 or for 2026 or for the future. And it immediately reminded me of our conversation about, and then insert relevant point discussed in the interview. This is what I was talking about a moment ago. I thought you might find it useful. I'd also love to keep the door open for future opportunities with XYZ. Please don't hesitate to reach out if a new AR/AP need arises. I'd be excited to contribute. Alrighty, this sequence is polite, professional, and lightly persistent, which is what we need to be. It keeps Mary top of mind without being pushy, yes, while also showing interest and adding value. Would you like me to draft a customizable version of email 3 with plug and play value add ideas like AR automation, software as a service finance tools, or accounting best practices, so Mary always has something relevant to share? I'll give you a thumbs up, chat, because that is brilliant. And so here, let me go ahead. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to leave it to you all. Okay, this is your opportunity to play with this prompt and see how you can utilize it. Maybe there are some companies that have rejected you in the past. I don't care, really. I don't care how far back. Could be in the last 6 months or a year. But let's go back through the list. You are keeping track of this stuff, right? Whew. Okay, let's go back through the list and let's start sending out these follow-up emails. I love the story that Les Brown tells, and let me get this so I can pop it in the comments section for you all, that Les Brown tells about when he wanted to work at the radio station. Okay, and there, for those of you who are watching via YouTube, you've got the copy of today's prompt. And I see we've got some comments, so I'll pull those in. But here we go. So Les Brown, and I'll shorten this. He tells the story about how his mentor, Mr. Washington, told him to go and talk to the station manager. Now, Les Brown had no experience. He was just excited about it. He would practice at home with his brush in the mirror and pretend like he was on the radio, literally. And Mr. Washington said, you go down and see the station manager, tell him I sent you, and ask him for a job. So Les goes, and the station manager acknowledges the fact that he knows Mr. Washington, asks Les a few questions about experience. Les says he has none, and then he goes, okay, I don't have nothing for you. Go away. Goodbye. Nice to meet you. Right? Next day, Les shows up again. Same spiel. And then he's like, didn't I tell you that, we didn't have any job opportunities? He said, yeah, but, I didn't know if maybe somebody quit or somebody got fired. And he said, no, nobody quit. Nobody got fired. Now go away, leave me alone. Then Les comes back the next day as if he had never been there before, introduces himself again. And he goes, didn't I tell you that leave me alone, get out of here. There's nobody has been fired. Nobody quit. And he goes, yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe somebody got sick or maybe somebody died. And so he said, no, nobody got sick. Nobody died. Now get out of my office and leave me alone. And Les Brown shows up the next day as if it were the very first time meeting him and asked the same question about having a job. And he said, go get me some coffee. And the rest, as they say, is his story, because Les Brown went on to get the job at the radio station. And I'm going to leave it there because there's a lot more to that story. But if you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube or reach out to me and I'll make sure that you get a copy and you can watch it. All right, so let's take a look and see what we've got here in the way of comments for today. Daniel Velez, good afternoon. Well, good afternoon to you, sir. All righty, who else do we have? TJ, good morning all. All righty, TJ. What did TJ say after that? Old school processes are not so old. Maybe just revisited, refreshed. I like it. Yes. This is just it. We're in a society where people, how do I say this? They've lost their skills, their people skills, their communication skills. It's hands off. Everything is quote unquote automated, but at the same time, a warm, friendly gesture that humanizes the process can make all the difference in the world. And remember, you've got to make your outstanding stand out. All right. Do we have any more? Yeah, we do actually. Daniel says handwritten mail adds a personal touch that makes your connection memorable. Spot on, spot on. And it looks like that's it for today. So, hey, folks, again, thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. If you know somebody who's unemployed, underemployed, or just unhappily employed, let them know about Get Up and Get a Job. That's the YouTube channel where they can go like and subscribe and be here every day, 12 o'clock noon, or watch the replays to get these these boulders that I'm dropping here, okay, and to help you in your job search or your job campaign, however you want to refer to it. But I do appreciate you being here. And again, remember, action. It's about taking action. It's about being consistent. And it's about us having a spirit of excellence. Not being perfect, but a spirit of excellence. That's how you ace, get that action, consistency, commitment, and excellence that you are successful. All right, let's see. A couple more comments popped up. Daniel says, thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Daniel. Thank you. TJ, thank you, William. Have a great day, everyone. All righty, I'm getting out of here. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. God bless everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe.
Wow, that was fantastic. I haven't been this excited to learn about something since I left basketball. Anyway, Mr. Craig did another great job of sharing an AI prompt that anyone can use in their job search. Be sure to join him every day, Monday through Friday at noon Eastern, on his LinkedIn profile or his YouTube channel called Get Up and Get a Job. You can watch the replays there as well. And while you're at it, share this information with someone you know who wants or needs a new job. I've got to run. My team needs me. But keep up the great work, Mr. Craig. You're providing a great service for the community. I'm going to tell all of my players about daily AI prompts for job seekers with William Craig III.